I've been there many times as a trainee where it's the middle of your night shift, you need some advice and you want to call the on-call consultant. It's easy when you know the place and you know people, but when you're moving jobs all the time, you actually don't know how that consultant is going to react to be woken up in the middle of the night. I totally get that in a dream world, everyone will be happy to do their job and happy to take the phone call, and it's not acceptable to be unkind when someone phones you in the middle of the night, of course. But as a trainee, we do have worries and anxiety about picking up that phone. These 5 tips on how to approach and make that phone call well are the combined Twitter wisdom from the clinician community. They will help ensure that your next phone call in the middle of the night to the consultant is stress-free. Remind yourself that it's about the patient. You've made the decision to call the consultant because you have a concern about the patient, or even you're unsure about the decision you're making, and that's fine. Remember that the consultant's job is to be on call. They are paid to do that. This helps to take the friction out of the call when you remind yourself that it's their job, therefore you don't need to feel bad about calling them. It's totally normal to apologise. I think it's our instinct to apologise when we make the call. I'm sorry to bother you because it's the middle of the night. It's the courteous thing to do when you're waking someone up. Remember that it's okay to be calling them, so you don't need to be genuinely sorry for calling them. It's actually the process is supposed to happen. You're the trainee on call. It's fine when you're unsure to call the consultant. And the vast majority of consultants will be 100% happy for you to call. They would definitely want you to call if you weren't sure about something. Even if you just wanted a second opinion, even if it was just a question and you weren't sure, they would rather you picked up the phone than didn't. So remember that when you're wondering or angsting over the decision about whether to make the call. Orientate them. Our gut is to try and get the call over as quickly as possible because we don't want to interrupt them for very long because we know it's the middle of the night, and so there is a tendency to just launch straight into the story. But remember that it's important to orientate them. They have likely been asleep and you've just woken them up. I know when I am woken up at any point in the middle of the night, I have a period where I need to adjust to where am I, what's happening, who's there and what's going on. So take the time to orientate them. So, hi, I'm sorry to disturb you. It's Tessa, I'm the Peds Reg on call at whatever hospital, and it's 2 a.m. It may seem obvious, but telling them who you are and telling them the time is just a really good starting point so they can be orientated. Be clear why you're calling. It's important to start with this so they know what the purpose of the call is. It helps them get in the right frame of mind to know what their response should be. So if we need them to come in, we're going to tell them we'd like you to come in and see a patient. That gives them a heads up. They're going to have to get out of bed, get dressed, do whatever it is they need to do to get to the hospital rather than just pondering over a response or mulling it over. So some sense of what you're hoping for will really help get them focused on the purpose of the call. So that could be, I need some advice about a decision, I need some advice about a patient, I'm not sure what the right decision is, I'd like you to come in, I don't need you to come in, but whatever. Giving them the purpose of the call can really help to frame it for them. Ask if they want you to call them back in 5 minutes. Now there may be times where this isn't appropriate. Obviously if it's urgent, then you're not going to say, fine, get yourself woken up and I can call you back in 5 minutes. If it's really urgent, you'll need to tell them that. But in many cases, when you're wanting their opinion, you can give them time to wake up. And some people are happy they wake up and they're suddenly able to answer a question. Other of us need a bit more time to come to. So if you start with the initial purpose of the call and you've orientated them to who you are and what time it is, then it can be really helpful if you're able to say, would you like me to give you a chance to wake up and I can call you back in 5 minutes? If they don't want to, that's fine. They'll tell you to keep going, that's okay. But some people really appreciate being asked, and that will mean that when you call them back in 5 minutes, they're more alert, they're more orientated, and they're more focused on being able to help you as best they can. So it's great to offer them that opportunity. Remember that consultants are humans too. There is no reason that anyone should be mean to you when you call them in the middle of the night. It's not acceptable. They shouldn't be shouting at you, they shouldn't be grumpy. That isn't something that you should be tolerating. However, sometimes people make mistakes and sometimes people react oddly when they get woken up in the night. It doesn't make it right, but it's just the situation. So just remember, consultants are people too. If something happens, it's not about you. It doesn't mean you've made a bad decision to call them. It's more on them and how they've reacted. There may be many reasons for that, They may be unkind, they may have made a mistake, but don't use it as an opportunity to dwell on yourself or the decision you made. I know that's hard to do when it's something you've been worried about and it's in the middle of the night and someone behaves unacceptably, but just remember, it's on them, it's not on you. With these 5 tips, when you pick up the phone, you're going to know you've got a framework, you've got a reason, and you can feel more confident and less stressed about making that phone call. If you like this video, you'll enjoy my video on how to say no without feeling guilty, which you can see here.